Okay, back to bin one again this week. We got a new angle, so let me know how it works out. Let's get started. Look at that. A bunch of nice, fresh castings all up at the top. They come up and leave their castings. It's good. Oh, and they're just a bunch of worms just below the surface. The smell's pretty good. So, let's get started. So I'm going to start as normals over here on the right. This is the where the finished castings are. I'm just going to fluff this all up. This is a little bit drier because yeah, see, it's mostly finished. I got some bigger chunks in there, but I'm not selling it or anything. I'm just putting it in my garden, so that's all right. Want to make sure there gets a bunch of oxygen in there so it doesn't go anaerobic. And I just like touching it and smelling it. It smells so good. You can see all the little castings all broken up into it. All right, very good, very good. All right, now let's check some of the wet stuff. So there'll be some worms in here. This is the stuff that's been fed a little bit more than a month ago. And it's wet, but so far it's not as wet it was 2 weeks ago last time we fed. I was worried it was a little bit too wet. Worms do look nice and healthy, very red. And I'm not seeing any food chunks in here, which means it's very well broken up. It's good. I mean, I could probably do a big harvesting here at this point. This bin's really starting to come online, create a lot of castings. Our worms in here are quite hungry. So even though this is wet right here, there's not a lot of food. So it's almost all just finished castings. So I could do a big harvest when I'm ready. Which will be soon. It's almost time to start some seeds this spring. It's near the end of February. It's quite warm out here today. It's in the 70s, sunny. We had some rain the other day, so I'm not as worried about getting a fire because I'm in Southern California. All right, this is from 2 to 4 weeks ago. So I got just like just the very outside of the banana peel, not any of the flesh on the inside that already got eaten out, just the very skin. Ooh, so we got some worms here. This is feeling a little bit more wet. If you recall, last time I fed them a big old gourd that I was trying to save for seeds, but a rat beat me to it. So far I'm not seeing any of it. Yeah, just worms and some castings. This is good moisture here. It's quite heavy as I'm going in and lifting it up. But almost everything's completely broken down. It looks very good. I think this bin gets a little bit more morning sun than the other ones, so the worms in here are a little bit more active. Finishing off this banana. Hungry boys. Okay, that looks good. All right, let's move on to where we fed 2 weeks ago. All right, I won't be surprised if there's a good chunk of food still left here. Yeah, look at that. Here's where they all are. Look at that. So this was, like I put a big gourd in here, and look at that. They've eaten almost away all the flesh, just leaving like the skin. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. These guys are hungry guys. Okay, I might feed them big again this time. If I gave them big feeding last time and they ate it all, that means they can handle it. Okay, we got some of the carrot, which is well on its way. I think it was just harder for them to eat. That's why it's still here. So it needs a little bit longer for it to break down. Yeah, some of the carrot. Let's keep throwing the stuff that needs a little bit more to the right. We can, or to the left, and move some of the more done stuff to the right. They'll have to make their ways back over. Still quite wet. Oh, wow. Look at that. It's just like all worm. Whew. Yeah. It's not too wet, but it's borderline, so I'm gonna do a good amount of bedding this week as well. And I actually have another big gourd to feed them, so I'll do another big feeding. Oh look, it's just the outer skin left. All the flesh has been completely eaten away. This banana though, it's not just the skin, there's still some of the inside on it. Wow, aside from that carrot and a little bit of that celery, it's like, it's all gone. It's just all gone. It's just worms and a single mango pit. Okay, I'll leave the stuff that needs some work down at the bottom. Then I'll add some more shredded cardboard. Good amount again this time because it's still quite wet in here, so I want to absorb as much of that as I can. And then as always comes the coffee grounds next. I get that is all ground up because they just don't make their way through when it's still a condensed puck. You gotta spread it out through the bedding so they got plenty to eat. Then I'm going to do my kitchen scraps next. Just a little bit of celery and lettuce, not that much this week. We were gone a couple other days. And then I'm going to cover it up a little bit because I want to put some space between that. And I got another big rotten one. The same deal here. I was saving it for the seeds, but a rodent beat me to it. Looks kind of gross, so I'm just gonna break it up and put it in here. Nice lot of mostly decomposed stuff that the worms I expect will go to town on. And then because this is also very wet, I'm gonna put some more bedding in on top of that. Very good. And then just cover it up so the worms just have to go down. And they got a bunch more food for the overcoming week. It's still winter, so I'm going to keep them nice and warm and moist. Ready for next week, or in 2 weeks.